the 24th, we were going to go see Drake and J. Cole.
Is that here or is that Tampa?
It's in West Palm.
Okay.
But J. Cole dropped out. It's okay because my favorite rapper ever is in Lil Wayne.
Wayne and Drake?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
It's even better.
Bro, that's my favorite rapper of all time.
I like Cole, but Wayne and Drake is
me
like...
too, but like, no. That's old YMC. It's going to be gas, bro. It's going to be the best time ever. The thing I hate about... Because I went to see Drake and the same group that is going, just me, Alex, Shai, and Laura, went to Brooklyn to see Drake and 21. The merch is almost like they went out of their way to make it ugly. And then I got tickets for Christmas for my nephews to go see Drake and J. Cole in Tampa, and they were like, dude, the merch couldn't be uglier. We got you the nicest thing, and it was horrible looking. So I'm hoping it's not the worst thing ever. Like, you could, I don't know why they don't call Kanye with it and like make really, because merch is supposed to be dope, or it could be the ugliest thing in America.
Right. And like half the reason why I want to go to concerts now is to get the
merch.
I want
you
the
can
hoodie.
only get it there.
Right, because that's the only there. It's not. It's a drop just for the tour.
Exactly.
And you see it, and you're like, oh.
I still buy it, but I'm like, I don't even wear it because I'm like, this is ugly.
Yeah, I ended up. My favorite band like of all time is Gym Class Heroes for whatever reason. Just fell in love with them.
I just saw a thing on Travis McCoy.
Yeah, and so we went and just saw them at Hard Rock, and they were with All Time Low. All Time Low was a headliner.
Dude, I love All Time Low.
All Time Low fucking killed it. All I wanted was a Gym Class hoodie.
Yeah.
All I wanted. You know what I bought? An All Time Low hoodie. Because Gym Class stuff was trash.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is it? Like, this is what you get? You get 2 shirt options?
Dude, I wish Travis McCoy would have just continued. He owned 2012.
Oh, man.
Like they killed it. He did the first song ever with Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
Like he was that dude, and then just, it went away. So
What's not going away is, dude, this brand that we found, you actually discovered who their name is. We got Ghost Mics.
We've got to figure out
Ghost Mics.
This is okay. I think we're good.
So you found this. You found the name of the brand. Yes. I knew of this brand. The marriage of influencers, media, and what they've done in commerce. Like, these guys are like, they're the Rolls Royce. They're the Apple. And I couldn't find the name forever. I'm so happy you found the name because this brand is cool as shit.
The website is tcg.co. We're not affiliated. Wish we were. They are the Churnin Group. Okay, they invest in companies that define culture. Badass, just like titles.
That's cool.
It's like they're just like we are. They are culture.
They own. But once
fire.
you start going through the list of brands that they've either worked with, acquired, own a percentage of, they do own culture.
Yeah. So they don't even talk about companies they've worked with. These are in their portfolio. Okay. Let me read just a few. Cars and Bids, humongous YouTube channel. They invested in it. They're doing products for it now, and they scaled it. Night Media, which is
Mr. Beast,
the people that manage Mr. Beast,
yep.
and the people that manage Prime, like Fire, right? Funko Pops.
I have them all over my house now.
Pop culture defined.
Yeah.
So far, I don't know what that is. Epic Gardening, which we just heard about, $30 million gardening
YouTube
media
channel.
property that sells seeds and products, right? Aura Rings, The Collectors, Dapper, Crunchyroll, Food 52, huge channel, Meat Eater, huge thing, yes. Exploding Kittens, I don't know what that is, but
sounds cool.
It sounds pretty cool. Houdinki, which is a media thing made by Kevin Rose, which is all about watches, Surfline, Barstool Sports. The list goes on. It is just, it's going to make you feel bad if I continue to talk about it, but
what makes them what makes them cool? Like why are we excited about a brand like this?
Well, we're nerds. It's but it's exactly what we want out of. It's what this show is about, right? They're basically investing in content, community, and turning that into commerce. So they will invest in a company like Barstool Sports for the media side, but then they'll go build out all the merch divisions, right? They'll invest in Epic Gardening and turn it into more. So they invested in Epic Gardening so they can go acquire media properties for it and then have that distribution to then sell seeds, products, boom, boom, boom. I can see them going retail with that kind of product, right?
100%.
They invested in Night Media because they own the channels. Now they can represent them in bam, bam, bam. Like, it is just the ultimate actual vertical integration of a business, because most people, they say the words and they're like, oh yeah, it's whatever, blah, blah. But like, if it's not done right, it's pretty sloppy and it doesn't make any sense, right? But they're going out, you know, it's a big venture group. I would, if I had the choice to be a part of this company or like Lightspeed Ventures, which is all tech and like big stuff, I'm going here. Right,
100%.
This is the future. You know, I'm not. These guys are disrupting the world with like tech and knowledge and SaaS and all that kind of stuff. That's boring to me. At the end of the day, this is exciting, right? Because it's eyeballs, and like, I mean, you and I grew up in this industry, really media buying and media owning and media. We are always in the media game, and we've always understood conversions. And now it's kind of like our dream worlds are combined now, and that's why this is so exciting.
It's so exciting because it's also proving the model of you have to build the eyeballs, right? And I think when we go back to like our e-commerce roots, it was always like, let's build the product, then let's go find eyeballs. Yeah. And that model is very difficult. It is very hard. It is an uphill battle that most brands, like these are the brands I work with on Grommet. They're like, I got a garage full of product. What do I do? I'm like, well, go build the audience, you know, which it's why they come to Grommet, because we have a big audience. It's why they come to like some of the newsletters you have and the media properties. It's why they're looking for YouTubers and influencers. It's why we talked about a Ridge Wallet, why they went for, why they went on that influencer deal. Right. But what I love about this is they found all these people with eyeballs and they're like, what's a better way to monetize these eyeballs? Right. Instead of just a brand deal. Look, I got nothing against brand deals, but it's a deal.
It's a hack.
It's a hack.
It's a job.
I got paid for this video, or now I got to make this video. How do I just incorporate? How do I get mailbox money because of my eyeballs?
Right, 100%. Right. So, and this, listen, we're practicing what we preach here as well. Right. So I advise a company called Hydro Heal, and it's it's like between $5,000 and $7,000 to buy it. Right, it basically creates hydrogen water. You've seen like Dr. Gary Brecka or whatever, Gary Brecka, talk about it, like just drinking it. This you inhale. That's why it kind of makes you stuffy a little bit, but it's good. I've been doing it for hours over here because I have the machine, and basically it's inhaling it is 100 times the equivalent of drinking 100 hydrogen bottled waters, and it does everything. Helps your cortisol, decreases inflammation, kills cancer cells, blah, 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 right? All that stuff. Very difficult to sell 7 racks on a phone call or a click or whatever. Yeah. What are we doing? We're building a media property for it. And at the beginning, you know, the people that I'm an advisor to it and I'm a part of it, they were like, dude, we're not going to run ads. I was like, we're going to run ads to something people don't know, to educate, and they have no level of awareness, and it's going to get to be very, very expensive for that cost of acquisition.
Yeah, they don't know you. They don't trust you. They don't even know that they need something like this.
Right, you're self-funding it, so it's very expensive to do that. Let's go build a TikTok channel and let's go get influencers and talk about it and talk about like, you know, hydrogen therapy and talk about hacks for, you know, biohacking and all that. What's that going to do? Create a lot. That audience wants it. So I'd rather spend money and get 200,000 followers on YouTube, right? And on all these other channels, and then make the push, because it's going to be a lot cheaper and it's going to be a lot more of really gathering that true 1,000 fans, right? At the end of the day, you know, we've been talking about it a lot on like buying media and buying impressions. And you don't think that it makes, oh man, but it's not going to convert. Listen, you're going to get bots, or people from India are going to, yes, cool. But it's the same thing when you run ads. You're still going to get bots that are going to mess up your impressions and CPMs, CPAs, whatever. You're still going to get people from India. You're still going to get the guys that are not exactly who you targeted. So it's the same thing. But where are you? You just want to convert faster. But the truth is that you just can't convert real people as fast as you could before, because they want to know the story. They want to be educated. They want to make more specific decisions. You know, you still have your crappy, jinky product, and you can push that. But how are people pushing it now? TikTok shops, which is what? Other people's channels. It's media. It's content. If you're not in this wave, you're going to be completely left out.
Yeah, because you could beat a dead horse all day, but like CPMs aren't getting any cheaper.
And they're not gonna. They're like,
they're
what
never
world
going
could they
to.
go lower?
Right. And then you also don't own that audience. Right? Like you're renting it from Facebook. Right. Because you're renting your email list from, you know, whoever, SendGrid or, you know, MailChimp or whatever, but you can download that list and I can go somewhere else. I could take my audience somewhere else.
Yeah. You can take them to your blog. You can take them to your YouTube. you don't own them there either technically, but at the same time, you can move them around more, and they're more active on YouTube than they are on your mailing list. You know what I mean?
And the person that's going to open my email every day or watch my TikToks every day or listen to a podcast on a weekly basis is a much better person than someone who saw a random ad and bought, and then they unsubscribe or they don't even read your emails later or whatever the case is. Again, does it work? Yeah, short term.
Yeah,
right.
And that's the thing. Your level of your time horizon for what you want to achieve now, I think, if you're looking at things in an e-commerce or a media level, you just gotta. I mean, we just made a decision with stuff that we're doing. It's a 10-year goal. Yeah, and it is just we're not, unless we die. That makes complete sense.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Like, I think there's a blended opportunity here, right?
Course,
like
it's
blended.
We're not saying don't do ads.
No,
that's ridiculous.
but like if you are playing the game, you need to play a long game and you need to get into this content game. And like I think what these guys saw is like, all right, we got Plant Guy, right? Plant Guy building this big YouTube channel, amassing millions of followers. COVID totally helped that guy because you know people like my wife are like, I guess I'm a plant lady now, right? And they're trying to figure it out.
I thought about gardening. I was
like everybody's into gardening and plants and all this stuff. And he comes to a point where he goes, all right, do it. And again, I don't know his specific situation, but hypothetically, he's like, all right, I could do a brand deal. I'm getting AdSense on my YouTube views, or like, let me make a product. Let me go sell something. But I don't know shit about seeds. I don't know where they're grown. I don't know where to find the right ones. How do I find organic ones? How do I let me just go buy this company that looks dope as hell. Exactly. Like as far as the product, but they know nothing about marketing. They have no distribution. They're in like 3 local gardening stores. Let me put them in front of 5 million people tomorrow. Yeah. And let's sell a bunch of seeds. And instead of doing a brand deal, let me just own the company. Yeah. And that to me is the genius of a lot of this is like, if you've created those eyeballs, you have all the leverage. You have everything that they want. Right. And that puts you in a great position to succeed.
Always, man, because eyeballs is what everyone is always going to need all the time. So I'll give you 2 more examples because people are going to be like, oh, yeah, but I don't have venture money. I can't just go out. But you're totally right. So what would you do if you were in this scenario? So I'll give you a scenario for the golf company that we're going to do. Right. So we're starting this company and we're kind of going to, build kind of like a version of like All Saints and Supreme, but for golf. Right, kind of like a vibe thing, whatever. We're changing. We were gonna name the company Flight Path because that's kind of what the other business is. We're changing the name. I guess I'm announcing it here, but whatever. It's gonna be called Taylor Saints, right? Because why? It's a doper name. It doesn't have to do anything with golf, but at the same time, it's kind of like a dichotomy of like abstract with like very tailored, like specific, measured stuff like that. So we want people to kind of create that. It'll be a community. We're gonna be doing drops and different things like that. We're gonna be working with golf influencers. We're going to obviously be running traffic and retargeting a lot for the stuff that we're doing, but we're also, as a big plan, we're going to be building in public. We're going to be building out on Twitter. We're going to be building out on socials. We're going to be showing you like, yo, this is the logo. Do you like this one? Do you like this one? Who can vote, upvote the whole thing? Like, let's see what you guys like. This is the packs that we're thinking about coming out for summer. This is kind of like the design stuff, like, make people kind of like join in with us while other influencers in the golf space are using it as well. Then doing drops based off, events that are happening in golf or influencers kind of like creating their own things as well and kind of making the drops very, very select, like one of 100 with numbers and stuff like that, and showing how all that is happening. And once there's enough revenue, we're going to go buy Instagrams and we're going to go buy TikToks and we're going to go buy blogs about golf. We're not going to spend more on ads. We're going to save the money and go buy a golf company that has, a golf website on how to swing maybe, or whatever the case, right? That has 40,000 subscribers, or a golf guy that's like really cool and like take his channel and like add to it, or maybe be the main sponsor until something else happens. Why? Because we're going to practice what we preach. This game, by the end of the year, you can be like, yeah, we're spending 30,000 a day on ads. If you don't spend 30,000 a day on ads, and if you rolled that for 5 days, you got 150 racks. You can go do a deal and do some creative financing and scoop a $500,000 property. Yeah. Right. And now you don't have to spend those monies on ads because the money is right there every single day, and it's growing on Google, on YouTube, on all that. Right.
Yeah. It grows because of residual too, right?
Exactly.
Like you get their whole, like you see this in music, right? Like you see these brands coming in, like Ithaca, right? Scooter Braun, like they're buying up people's catalogs,
right?
Because a song that you love, like you and I we were talking about like Travi, right?
Yeah.
He hasn't put out an album in like a decade.
I know.
But he's still making dollars off of, Spotify,
Yep.
Apple licensing, all of that. And so, but the same is going to be true, I think, for YouTube on these like things like gardening, right? Like how to plant my first hydroponic seed or whatever. I don't know anything about gardening, but that video, he probably made that 3-4 years ago and he's still getting 10,000 views a day on it. 50, and so that only grows over time. Where your ad, if you're not spending money onto that ad today, it doesn't get seen, right? It's gone. And so you get the back catalog, right? Plus anything that's built into the future. And then if you can stack it with other media properties that are sending traffic to catalog, new videos, like, man, that to me, that's the ultimate play. And then you go back to that catalog and what do you do to all the descriptions? You add in your product stuff, you add in your affiliate links, you add in all, like now, like you've just monetized that channel.
I almost feel like we need to do a masterclass for people and like show experiences and stuff like that because like we're so into it. Like next week, what I want to do for the show, guys, is I want to kind of give an example for like local. So we're buying a local med spa, right? And we're going to insert later on our own skincare products because it only makes total sense, right? How are we going to grow a local med spa? With media. I will exactly show the blueprint next week. So you got to stick around next week, give you a little cliffhanger there on that. But we're doing the same thing over and over and over again. And I don't care if you're a roofer. I don't care. Dude, I've got a buddy of mine that I'm helping. He's one of my closest friends. Lives in Miami. He's coming up next week. And he's an actor. He was just on Bad Boys 4. He just locked out another show as a cop on TV, and he's in Miami. And he's like, dude, it's kind of moving. Like, what do I do? I was like, dude, you need to start a podcast. I was like, what? I was like, start a podcast with the most influential people in Miami because he knows all of them, right? And he's like, yeah, but it's a podcast in Miami. I was like, where do you get booked? Like, Miami. I was like, cool. So you'll be the guy.
Be the mayor
of
Miami.
Hey, these are the best spots to eat. This is the best thing. He's friends with like the guy that owns, I forget his name, but like he owns all the clubs and all that stuff. His best friend is a partner in Happy Dad. And I was like, dude, you've got this. You know everyone in Miami.
The cooler thing is like on local to me, and I've said this for as far as back as I can remember, is easier than like what we're trying to do. Because like if I've said this I've spoken at so many real estate conventions and I'm just like, all right, so you're in Baldwin Park, right? A subset of Orlando, Florida. And I'm like, go interview the guy who owns the pizza place at the end. Do you know how many times that pizza guy's been asked to be interviewed in his life?
Yeah.
Never. So you know how stoked he's going to be? Yeah, I'm going to be on your YouTube channel. You're going to bring in cameras to my pizza place. Oh, like I'm going to tell everybody we're going to make this a thing. Like let's do a give it. Like, and now you do it to the pizza place, do it to the coffee shop, you do it to the dry cleaning place, and now all of a sudden you literally own the whole
mayor of the city.
And who's the pizza guy when someone's like, hey, I'm actually thinking about buying a house. Oh, dude, you need to talk to Los. He came in here, he filmed this video. It was super dope. And so it's not even that the YouTube video got seen and major, like it's now you've become the mayor because you own the media. And this is done like personal injury attorneys
all day.
You could hate them all day, but you know who's making the most money in your local community? Those personal injury attorneys that are doing radio, have their own radio show. They're on TV. They got billboards. They're doing all of that. They own the media. They have this like omnipresent vibe in the community. So it's crazy. Like I forget to think about local because I don't play in that space.
Dude, I'm starting.
It's easier.
And I'll obviously say everything on the podcast, but so I picked up a client from a hamburger shop, which is crazy. And I'm not going to say exactly what happened, but it's a very lucrative thing that I can help him sell the business and all that. And I was like, man, like I didn't think stuff like that was in Orlando. And then I got another big deal that came, like people were just like, yo, I follow you. And like they saw me in Orlando and I was like, what the fuck? But I was like, I guess the content stuff is working. And then I started to think, man, why would I spend money on ads going national for like what I'm doing now, which is like very niche, like media and like selling companies and stuff like that. What if I try to be the biggest guy in Orlando? Who else is trying to be the biggest guy in Orlando to sell companies and consult on like exits and stuff like that, or like grow e-commerce?
It's a blue ocean. It's 100%.
That actually has my experience. No one. So I'm going to blow money on Orlando and I'm going to keep people updated. But next week, I'm going to bring in what we're doing with this med spa concept. I'm going to bring in someone who's doing really well as a tax attorney, accountant, business, etc., which are services. Yeah. And then I'm going to also show, because there's a guy in Orlando that I follow. He is a real estate agent, but I follow him because he shows me everywhere to go eat, the best spots, the best everything. When I buy a house, I would probably reach out to dude, because he knows everywhere. So you can do this in any kind of situation. So we're going to go e-com, we're going to go services, and we're going to go even just as a job with, you know, in real estate or whatever, because you might be like, well, you know, I work for a killer. Well, you're an entrepreneur at the end of the day. You got to eat what you kill as a real estate person. And at the end of the day, you can grow your own mortgage broker's place or whatever the heck you want to do. You know what I mean? Because you're building that brand. So, guys, you can use this for anything. This is definitely the best idea we've ever had to start talking about this stuff, because even now, like most people, you're either doing it or you're not talking about it, or you don't know about it and you're not executing on it.
Yeah, and it's big. It's bigger than you think that it is.
It's the future of life.
But it's also not playing the I need to make a video today and get a client tomorrow.
Right.
If you're playing that game, this doesn't work.
Yeah. Or I need to make this community work for my e-com and get recurring members now. No, it's not going to happen. But it is going to happen if you play the cards right. So, all right, guys, if you guys want to see a masterclass on this, Greg and I might be up for it. Just send us some DMs at Los Hustle, and what's your Insta?
Just Greg Roulette.
Greg Roulette.
Super easy.
Share this with a friend. Subscribe because it helps us. And we love you guys. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.